again to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about something very important as usual. We are going to be talking about debt. Now, in case you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please hit the subscribe button below, the red button below, so that you get update every time I upload a video. Welcome to yet another educative information again. Here we're going to be talking about debt. Now, what is it about debt we want to talk about? We want to look at the evils of debt. Why is it bad to be in debt? Now, I want you to give me your full attention so you can understand what I am going to be pointing out in this video. Now, quickly, I'm going to be very direct and straight to the point. You see, there are a lot of things that you can be denied, or you deny yourself because you are in debt. Now, these things are not it's not because you do not like them, you do not like to do them. It's just that you are handicapped by debt. So let's quickly get into it. What are the evils of debt? Now, number one on the list, the very first one on the list is that debt robs you of your happiness. Now, it is very, very rare to see someone who is indebted to people or another person who is happy. They are hardly happy, not because not because of the debt per se, but they are worried. They are always worried, having to think of where they are going to get the funds to settle their debt. And then this is always the thought in their head. You hardly do anything for your own happiness. Every time you make calculation, you're always thinking about how to settle your debt. So you hardly spend on things that make you happy. Everything is channeled towards, settling debt and settling debt and settling debt. So you're hardly in charge of your own happiness, because this debt is robbing you of your happiness. It even disallows you to naturally want to spend money on things that give you happiness, because you're indebted to someone. Every time you even see them passing, even if they are not coming to you, your mind is already telling you, hey, you're owing this person, and you just pray that he doesn't come to you now. And if eventually he passes and does not come to you, you thank God. And if he comes, you have to start begging if you don't have the money yet. And these people can say anything. They can disgrace you, they can harass you, they can just do anything because you're indebted to them. So I am not saying that we cannot be indebted. Yes, at some point, maybe some critical condition can cause us to go borrowing, but ensure that it is settled as soon as we have funds, as soon as possible, so you can be free. Debt is not something we should be proud of, and it's not a good thing. So no one wants to be indebted to anybody at all, except when condition warrants it. Number two, it keeps you perpetually struggling. Yes, once you get into debt with people, or organization, or somebody, you keep struggling, trying to settle the debt. Sometimes I've had situations where people even take funds from another person, like borrow from another person and use it to settle another debt. So every time you borrow from another person to settle an old debt, you become a new debtor to the new person. So whichever way, you are always going to be struggling. Having freed yourself from the old person, you are now indebted to a new person. So whichever way, new or old, you are indebted to somebody, and then this struggle continues. You have a new debtor, might give you some time, but it does not mean that you're not indebted to somebody. So it keeps you struggling, and then this cycle might continue for a very long time if you do not have an appropriate plan to ensure that you free yourself from debt as soon as possible. And then part of this struggle is that you're not likely to be able to spend on education. You're not likely to be able to think of something tangible for yourself. You're not likely to think of investing because you're indebted to somebody. Everything, just like I said in the first point, it robs you of your happiness, keeps you struggling, and everything you ever do will be channeled towards trying to free yourself from debt. Number 3, it robs you of opportunities. Yes, opportunities may arise that warrant that you invest a little fund, but because you're already indebted, let's say for instance, if you're a salary earner and then you have already taken a huge loan from your workplace or your organization and you started servicing this loan, of course an opportunity to show what now comes to you at the end of the month as salary might just be very, very small, so small that you even manage to be able to take care of your own basic needs at least for a few weeks before you start struggling again. Now, how do you think of investing in any opportunity when it shows up? It's not possible because you are indebted to someone, and then they take this money, sometimes in a very high percentage, such that what is left for you is just small. Every time you even want to move, sometimes because you're indebted to the organization, you either get fund and settle it at once, or you just become patient and wait until you're done servicing the loan. So it holds you down. It robs you of opportunities. You can't just invest. You can't just buy things, especially when they come easy and cheap than they will normally be. But because you don't have the funds, you are indebted to somebody. Ordinarily, if you're not indebted to somebody, you would have been able to afford it. But like I said, there might arise issues in our life at least once in a while that require that we go take loan. This one is understandable, but don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit, especially loan for basic things, loan for personal use. If it's not an emergency, if it's not for something that can kill you, don't do it. Is that clear now? Number 4, it makes it difficult for you to grow and build wealth. For every one of us that's indebted to somebody, you can hardly think of gathering money together, invest, and then create wealth because you are struggling. You're not happy. You cannot even grab opportunities when they show. So how then do you even think of creating a financial plan that will help you grow and build wealth and grow it? It's not possible. You have to be financially free first, then you can now think of gathering funds little by little until it's good enough for you to invest in some business that you already understand. So it will do us a lot of good to either stay out of debt or try to minimize it if we must take loan or borrow funds. Try to minimize it in such a way that you try to settle it as soon as possible and take only what you need. Don't take it because it is available. Yeah, there are a lot of people who feel, okay, this is free money, everybody can apply and they are getting it. Okay, why don't I apply and also get them? After all, my salary, they take it from my salary, so it's okay. Now you apply, you have taken the loan, and once they start deducting it from your salary, that's when you feel the hit. then you would have spent the money. So if it's not worth it, don't do it. Remember the clause. If it's not for something important, if it's not for something that could kill you if you don't do it, if it's not for something that might help increase you as a person, if it's not for something that will improve your life, don't do it. Okay? And even when you do, for all of these things I have mentioned, try as much as possible to settle it in the shortest time possible so you can be free. Happiness only comes when you are free. Knowing very well that you are not indebted to anyone. You wake up every day knowing that you are in charge of your finances. Thank you. Keep watching this channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so now, as I will do something in addition to what we have done now, so that we will also find a way to create balance. And then if we are already indebted, how do we settle it as quick as possible? Don't forget to like and subscribe to this, and in my next video I'll be sharing with you how we can quickly settle our debts in case we are already indebted to someone. Thank you, and be good.